Today we're going to be making a mushroom risotto. Now, like any other risotto recipe, this is extremely easy to make. But unlike other risottos, I think a mushroom risotto is the more complete one. In the sense where the mushroom adds another element, it adds another texture. You don't have to make anything on the side. You can eat it by itself. You can make some delicious arancini afterwards. And not only that, but the mushroom goes hand in hand with a rich Parmesan taste. Now for this recipe, you're gonna need any white mushroom or any regular mushrooms you find at the grocery store, some chicken stock, some garlic, some onions, some salt, pepper, some butter, some white wine, thyme, lots of Parmesan, parsley, olive oil, and of course, last but not least, arborio rice. Arborio rice is essentially risotto rice. It's a soft grain rice that absorbs a lot of liquid, so it'll absorb a lot of the good broth that comes along with this recipe. All right, let's get cooking. Now to start off, let's begin with the aromatic base ingredients. You want to chop up about 6 mushrooms. It may vary about what size you have, but you want to look at around 250 to 500 grams. This may seem like a lot, but these mushrooms are going to wilt down and reduce the size to more than a half. You want to finely chop 3 cloves of garlic and finely chop 1 whole medium-sized yellow onion. Before you start cooking, make sure you have about 1.5 liters of simmering chicken stock. Now in a lightly oiled casserole, you want to first add in the finely chopped onion. Make sure the heat isn't too high. You'll want to sweat these onions out and slightly brown them. Next, add in your mushrooms with about 50 grams of unsalted butter. Since the heat is at around medium, these mushrooms are going to take a while, so patience is virtue in this step. Wilt them down as such, then add in your garlic, dried thyme, salt, and pepper. For this next step, you'll want to turn your heat up a little higher because you'll want all these ingredients to incorporate with one another. Slightly brown them, slightly caramelizing them. Now, this next step may seem a little untraditional, but after all the ingredients have slightly caramelized and turned nice and brown, you want to add in the white wine and the rice. Now typically, when cooking a risotto, you put the rice in first and let it toast for a couple minutes before adding in the wine. But since we have the mushrooms, onions, and garlic, these are such prominent ingredients that giving them a head start on the slight acidity from the wine adds a new depth of flavor to the aromatics. Not only that, but you'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone this way. You get to toast the rice and at the same time you burn off that alcohol from the wine, but still adding that hint of acidity. Either way, you still get a delicious risotto, and of course, if you prefer to do the regular way of toasting the rice first, you can do that as well. So continue toasting your rice while cooking out the white wine for a couple of minutes, until you get a smell of a faint toastiness and can no longer smell the alcohol. Then you start ladling in the chicken broth. This is where patience really takes form. You don't want to rush this step or else your rice will cook unevenly and you'll have some bits and pieces that will be chalky or even undercooked. What I'm doing is I'm ladling in about 2 ladlefuls at a time and reducing the broth down for about 3 to 4 minutes each interval. Now depending on how much rice and broth you have, this part could take a little while. As you can see, the arborio is very absorbent. The broth is causing the rice to literally double or even triple in size. Cooking it this way also creates a delicious creaminess. Once you have ladled in all your stock and had it reduced to a good amount, add in around 50 grams of shaved Parmesan. This creates an even more creaminess and makes the risotto about 10 times better. For color and a little extra kick, add in a handful of finely chopped parsley. This adds a little freshness that counters the rich creaminess of the risotto. There you have it, mushroom risotto. It's super creamy. The mushroom works perfectly with the parmesan, and the arborio rice is cooked perfectly also. And not only that, you can make some crazy good mushroom arancini afterwards, if there's any leftovers.